Hi, my beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl 𝕻𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆, and we're back another day with another video. So I am showing you a basic full set. I'm not going to be using colored acrylic today, so I'm going to show you how to prep and all that. So right now I'm taking my cuticle bit, the same thing I do with all my nails, but this time it's me. And we are just getting all the dead skin around the cuticle area. With this cuticle bit, you want to make sure that you're constantly moving the bit. You don't want to keep this bit in the same place because you can damage your client's nail or your nail. You don't want to cause any indentations, none of that. Okay, so now we are going to remove the shine. As you saw, I took the file against the edge of it just so the bit is not rough or anything and can cut you or your client. With this, you're just slightly, don't apply any pressure, you're just moving this across the nail just to remove the shine. And I also take this around the cuticle area just to remove the shine around that area too, because that's where a lot of lifting is occurring. So yeah, just be really careful. Again, you're not applying pressure when you're doing this. You're doing this ever so slightly to remove the shine. And be super careful. I remember, I feel like I've told the story before, but I remember going to one nail tech and she was like really filing my nail. It was so painful. But she was very intimidating, so I didn't really say anything. But just be careful because you don't want to cause a ring of fire. So these are the tips that I purchased recently from Amazon, and I actually do really like them. I wanted some tips that were square for people that like squared nails, so I don't have to keep using my stiletto tips, because I use those tips for like coffin and all that other stuff. So I wanted to switch over to these, and they're okay. Like I said, I feel like the last video I said that I used these other tips the other day with another client and I love them, but they were the off-white ones, the natural tips. But anyways, so when you're sizing your tips, you're making sure they're from sidewall to sidewall. They're not too big, not too small. Go with the bigger one, not the smaller one. If it's too small, it will snap. And you want to make sure that you're applying the glue to the tip and not the actual fingernail, regardless if you are sanitizing before your client. I'm actually going to take you guys eventually, pretty soon. I want to make a video of how to properly do a full set application, from sanitization to applying the tips to filing the proper way. If you guys don't know, I just recently graduated from nail school and I'm so excited. I will eventually be taking the test. I have to study over Christmas break or whatever, but yeah, I'm so excited, y'all. I'm like so excited. I'm actually very nervous for the test, but that'll come eventually. I'm not ready yet. Not at all. So yeah, when I apply my tips, I'm really lax with them because I can always go in with a file and kind of take whatever is overlapping. But with clients, I prefer not to do that because you don't want to cut them, or you don't want to cut them because you can cut a client if you get that file too close to their skin, especially in e-file. Be really careful with doing the e-file. I don't like to buff my tips with the e-file. So now I'm using a tip cutter. I don't know what I was just about to say. I'm using a tip cutter. I actually found this in my bedroom when I was decluttering my room, and I'm using it today. And now we are just filing the nails. Filing your own nails to get them to the exact shape and length and evenness that you want is really hard, because it's like you can't, when you're doing your client's hand, it's easier, but when you're doing your hand, you have to like hold it a certain way. It's just super uncomfortable. So when I file the nails, I also go in and blend the tip. I just do this to not have to go back and do this in another step. I just think it saves time instead of going through all 10 nails, shape them, and then have to come back and blend the tip. Unnecessary. So this process I honestly can't really explain to you because I really file my nails the way it's most comfortable. Like, if I can turn my hand that way to get it a certain way, I'm going to do it so it can look even and nice. So you see me like go from having my hand on the table to having it in the air and making sure that's even. Yeah. So you just got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do, boo. So this is what we will be prepping with today. So I'm going to be showing you guys 2 different acrylic systems. One acrylic system is from my local nail supply store. Oh, right now I'm taking some alcohol and removing the dust. This is the way I used to prep my nails a while back. So anyways, we're using 2 acrylic systems today, but we are prepping with 𝕻𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 and then dehydrating with 𝕻𝖊𝖉𝖎𝑔 and then nail prepping with Young Nails No Lift Primer. So I've told you guys before that I am switching from another system. I'm trying to figure out a system that I'm going to like. So I'm trying out 𝕻𝖊𝖉𝖎𝑔 as well as my local nail supply store nail system. I'm not sure. It states that it's EMA on the bottle, but I'm not too sure. We will see when it's time to take off these nails. But I really want to see the longevity of 𝕻𝖊𝖉𝖎𝑔 as well as my local nail supply store to see which one does better, which one will last. So this is why I'm really making this video. So here's the 2 bottles, the local nail supply store and then 𝕻𝖊𝖉𝖎𝑔. And then so they have a liquid and a powder. Their powders are good. Yeah. So I'm going to basically tell you guys my review throughout the video. But first I'm going to explain how to do a 3-ball method. So I kind of already started. So 3 balls, there's zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. So your zone 1 is at the tip of the nail. Of course, as you get with longer nails, you have to do bigger beads or more beads depending on the nail. So yeah, 3-ball method, you're starting at the tip, then you're going to go to that stress area, and then you're going to go near the cuticle area. So your biggest bead should be your stress area because you're building your apex. This prevents like breaking and snapping of the nail. Regardless of the length of the nail, there should be an apex regardless. So when I do my own nails, FYI, I honestly cannot see near the cuticle area. So you see me going back near the cuticle area a lot just because there was no acrylic near my cuticles because I could not see, y'all. But anyways, so near the cuticle area, what I like to do is I like to place the acrylic further away from the cuticle area just so you are not flooding the cuticle area. Again, I really want to do a full video, nothing sped up, no artwork, no special stuff in doing the nails. I just want to show you guys how to do a full set, basic full set, how to do it properly from prepping to filing. Anyways, so like I'm showing right here, you're starting at zone 1. So zone 1, you are patting the acrylic. That's the starting point of your nail. You don't want to have too big of a bead, and you don't want to have too small of a bead. Like I said, as your nails get longer, if you're doing longer nails, you may need a bigger ball, you may need a smaller ball. So as you saw, the bead that I just got, it was a little bigger because this is my stress area now, and I want to make sure that I don't have any breaks, I don't have any lifting, none of that. So yeah, so you are pressing this acrylic down and then you're smoothing it out as well. So you are basically using, as you see right now, I'm using all parts of my brush. You're not just using the tip of your brush because you don't want your brush to get clogged. And like you just saw, I placed acrylic just now further away from the cuticle area, but now I'm taking my brush and pushing that against the cuticle area. You want to make sure that you have control of your acrylic. Don't let your acrylic, control you, honey. Work your brush, work your acrylic. Don't make it too moist and your brush too wet to where your acrylic goes everywhere. Control your brush and don't get too afraid. Like, oh, by the way, I was supposed to go in with the local nail supply store acrylic with this finger, but I really wasn't paying attention. So for the pinky and my middle finger on my other hand, I used the monomer from my local nail supply store. This nail, my ring finger and my other hand, I got it done at my nail school. They didn't do a very good job, I will be honest. So I had to go back and fix them. So that's why they look super duper crazy. But anyways, so we're doing the same thing again. Of course, like I said, I was not supposed to be using 𝕻𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 for this finger. I will say that 𝕻𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 definitely did flow better compared to the local nail supply store acrylic. It really flowed better. And this is really weird because I don't know if it's just because I kind of have a better understanding of acrylic, and you know, I've gotten better over the last few months when I started doing restarted doing nails. But 𝕻𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 is really not that bad. I was able to control it. It didn't run as bad as it used to, because the reason why I stopped using, one thing to stop using 𝕻𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 was because it ran so bad. Like, it ran everywhere. So you just have to be mindful of how to, you know, make your balls and your beads to make sure that they're not too runny. You're having the correct ratio. And maybe I'll make a video on that as well. So really, you know, you want to get to a point when you're applying your acrylic that you get to a point of where you don't have to do a lot of filing with your nails. And my last client that I had, when I did a basic full set with acrylic, really took me like 2 seconds to file and finish up, because I didn't have to do a lot of filing because my laying of acrylic was really good. So you want to get to that point so you are able to zoom through your appointments. With colored acrylic, it is a little harder because, especially if you're doing like ombre, it's not as smooth and you kind of have to basically build your nail or blah blah. So now we are using the local nail supply store acrylic, and it really sticks to the brush. It's not as smooth as the 𝕻𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆. Yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. None of them were too strong. None of them burned my nose or anything. To me, people always say, oh, how does it smell? Is the odor too strong? Listen, monomer to me stinks. Like, yeah, regardless, it stinks, it smells. It really doesn't matter to me. All of it's gonna smell, unless, you know, you get a scented monomer or whatever. So that's just my opinion. I really don't know how to better explain it, but they both stink. If anything, I feel like Young Nails was a bit stronger to me. But of course I could be wrong because I don't pay attention. I just think all of it smells like monomer. So yeah. And I have really good circulation in my little office space in my basement. So that also could be a factor. Just make sure that if you are having really bad issues with smelling of monomer, that you have good circulation. Get a fan to put in your window and face the fan, the blades, to where it's going outward. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so you want to make sure that you're putting the back of the fan to where your inside of your house is. If you don't have, like, what is it called? I don't know. I'm not sure what it's called, but look at Home Depot. They have it. So you want, yeah, so like I'm saying, you want to position the fan to where it's taking the air outward, as well as air purifier. So right now when I file, I'm not sure if you guys are paying attention, but I push the skin back off from the acrylic so I can easily access my nails and be able to file. So when I file, I'm so sorry for the camera shaking again. You know, this is what happens when you're doing your own nails. So like I said, I can't really explain to you the best way to file when I do my own nails, because it's so much harder. Like, it's really so much harder. You kind of just have to go with the flow and figure out the best way to position your hand. What's comfortable for you, what may be comfortable for me may not be comfortable for you. So you gotta figure it out, guys, when it comes to filing your own nails. When it comes to clients, though, I can definitely explain how to file better. But like I said, since I did a really good job with laying my acrylic, I didn't have to do much work when it came to filing. It was legit just reshaping, because I like my square nails to look a certain way. I don't like them to look too fat, and I don't like them to look too tapered in. Like, I like that traditional office lady set. Well, actually, these wouldn't be office ladies. These would be a little bit longer. These will be medium length. But I really like my square nails to match my fingers and make sure that they are not too fat, not too skinny. They're just right. So like the Three Little Bears. Is that the Three Little Bears? The Three Bears, Mama Bear, Papa Bear, with Goldilocks. Or is that Goldilocks? Whatever, it doesn't make it. That's here, nowhere, there. It makes no difference. And when you are filing your nails, just make sure that you hold your hand up just to see that everything is even and everything is equal. Okay, so now we are going within to my bit. This is my favorite bit, and I actually got it from my local nail supply store. This has been sitting in my collection for a really long time, but I just recently started to use it when I did my acrylic application, and I'm really fond of it. It works really, really good. It gets my nails nice and smooth, and it has the safety part of the bit at the end so you don't cut your clients. I love it so much. It works really, really good. So when I do my e-file, I'm going near the cuticle area to kind of smooth that area out. And then literally all I do is I may file on the edges, the edges of the free edge. And then I'll just file back and forth to get the nail nice and smooth. You don't want to stay in one spot for too long, because you can make the nail unequal. But like I said, when your application is nice and clean, filing with your e-file becomes easy. If I did not do a good application on my acrylic, then I would go in with my hand file, because it's easier for me to smooth everything out. When I do the e-file, if it's not already like relatively smooth, then yeah, it's just easier for me to get it like that one spot where I feel it at, to use my hand file. So that's just me. I know a lot of people do still use their e-file. It's totally up to you. I did go back in and do a fill-in on this finger, my ring finger. Like I said, they did my ring finger and my other hand besides my middle finger, and they did not do a really good job. Like, there was a bunch of space between the nail and my cuticle area, so I basically had to go back in and do a fill-in. So we're gonna ignore those fingers. So now my pinky, I'm filing the edges because they were kind of coming downward a little bit. I like to make sure that I file underneath the nail so it's nice and straight. And like you see, I'm just filing to make it nice and smooth. Just make sure that you keep that e-file moving, and you want to make sure that you get a good e-file. Cheaper is not always better. Just because it's $70, $65 doesn't mean it's a good e-file. Point blank period. I don't care what anybody says. You will never see me get an e-file from Amazon. Like, if my, God forbid, Lord do not, I'm not speaking this into existence, but if my e-file were to give out, I would more than likely go spend like $300 on a new e-file. Point blank period. You will not see me ever buy any e-files from Amazon ever again. All right, so I really didn't know what I wanted to do with these nails, but I knew I wanted to do something. So we are going into Pinterest and looking at some nail ideas. So again, this is Pinterest inspired nails. Whoever did this design, you are amazing, girl. You're great. I don't celebrate Halloween, so for me, Halloween ideas don't really come to me because I don't celebrate it. But you know, we just, yeah, I want to go with the trend. Everybody's uploading Halloween nails, so I wanted to join in too. So yeah, so I ended up picking, it should be coming up. I was gonna pick these pink ones, but I really didn't want to do pink because I always do pink. So I ended up picking these because it was like, ooh, that's really cool, this is dope. But my trouble was trying to figure out how I was going to get these on my short nails. So this is the nail polish that I ended up going with. I tried to get it as close to the one in the picture, but I didn't have that exact color. It was more like a yellowish nude. I don't know. It was a nudish nude. It wasn't pinkish. This was more tan. I don't know. Whatever. So I did 2 coats of this nail polish, and I cured it under my 𝕻𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆. I actually really want to get some more of 𝕻𝖊𝖉𝖎𝑆 gel polish. I'm actually really a fan. I like it more than D&D, I will say that. So yeah, now you just see me like looking at the phone to figure out like how I was about to do this and finesse it, because my nails are short. Like if I had longer nails, I would be able to really execute it how I wanted it to be, but you know, they came out how they came out, and I actually like them. So yeah, so now we are going using, so I actually already started and I thought I hit record, but I didn't. So pretty much for this finger, I literally placed down a light green, then I added some white to it, and then I added some green. I've always enjoyed art, so this part wasn't hard for me. I did have to go back in and redo this part, so I'm not sure if this is the second take that I took, but you may see me go back in and restart because I didn't like how it was looking. So yeah, this is why I like using gel pots and gel polish, just because it's easier to go back in and restart if you mess up. So I didn't want to cut this part out, but I wanted to show you guys, hey, I messed up on this part, and you know, it's so easy to just go back in and clean everything up. But I'm not sure if I cut it out. So we shall see. I think this is the one where I messed up. Yeah, because I applied too much. So with these Young Nail gel paint pots, you kind of want to have a light hand. If you apply too much, the gel will run and it'll mess up your design. So you just want to be super careful and not apply too much. Like I did, I applied way too much and I ended up messing up, so I had to go back in and erase it. So yeah, like I said, I've always been really good at art, so mixing colors to get a certain color has never been an issue with me. So you know, I'm not sure if doing nail art is something that you can practice at to get better, or if it's something that you already have to have like an artistic skill to move from there. Like some people are not good at nail art, you know what I mean? So leave a comment down below. Like, is it something that you think that can be acquired, that you can practice with to gain? Or do you think that you already have to have that artistic talent and then from there you can progress? What do you guys think? And to better explain, like, for example, I've always loved art class. I've always loved drawing. I've always loved painting. Although I don't really practice art anymore, but in high school, that was my favorite subject. That was my favorite class. I loved art. So it makes sense for me to be relatively good. I could definitely be better at nail art, but it does make sense, you know, for it to be good. But I don't know anybody that does nail art that never did art before. I wasn't good at nail art or art period before doing nails, you know what I mean? So hopefully that makes sense. Let me know in the comments down below if that makes sense, and tell me your thoughts. Like, are you somebody that wasn't good at art that does nail art and you're really good? Like, I want to know. Anyways, so yes, this is the one I messed up. And hey, if you have a client or something, by the way, when you mess up, I would definitely suggest alcohol and a little bit of acetone, not plain acetone, because you want to be really careful. But if you are doing a client's nails and you're doing nail art and then you mess up, you know, don't stress, don't fret, just get some alcohol or some acetone out. I don't recommend acetone because it kind of takes away the other stuff that's on your nail. But don't like stress out or anything or be upset with yourself. Just erase it and start again. Now, if it's like the 5th time that you had to erase it, at this point, sis, just think of another design because it's obviously not working for you. Let's be honest. Like, I'm not about to sugarcoat it. But if it's like 1 or 2 times, maybe even possibly 3, you know, don't send them out with something that you're not satisfied with. That's what I always say. And if it's not something that I'm satisfied with, then I will take some off the total. That's just me. Like I said in the previous video, I will discount the heck out of somebody. I don't care. That's just me. So now we're going back again and we are outlining this little monster. Their micro art, I don't know why I always call it a pen. Their micro from Young Nails, their micro art paintbrush is amazing. It's amazing. You know, I thought I really sucked at nail art until I switched over to this brush and their paint pots. Like, if you are trying to get into nail art, I would definitely recommend getting their $50-something package with all of their paint pots in them. It's like amazeballs. Like, I don't think I will ever get any other nail art pots. So yeah. So like you see, when I go in, I'm kind of brushing my brush on the rim of the paint pot just so there's not a lot on my brush. And I always have my acetone like near so I can erase anything that I mess up on, because I'm a perfectionist and I like things to be perfect or near perfect. I critique myself so much and it's really bad. So yeah. I'm trying to figure out if you guys want to see like a closer shot of the nails, like really, really up close. It's really hard for me to see. That's the only thing that I kind of suck at. And I also record with my phone. So until I'm able to get a new camera, a smaller camera where I'm able to zoom in, y'all just gonna have to deal with this. Anyways, so now we're making his little eyes. And now I'm looking back at this finger and I'm like, I love it so much. They're so stinking cute. It looks like a little booger though. I don't know if this was from a movie or anything. I don't know. Where is this idea from? Is this a ghost? I don't know who he is. Okay, and so now we're just outlining him to make his face complete. I do wish that I would have did like stiletto or something, or an oval shaped nail. I think this would have looked better with this design, but I really just want a square nose, so yeah. Okay, for his mouth, I kind of just did some squiggles and made some lines and called it a day, because I didn't want to just like have a traditional black mouth. Like, I wanted it to kind of be more scary, because with just the circle, it just looked like he's smiling. So I had to kind of like make it a little weird and like draw some lines and kind of make it protrude out a little bit, as you can see. Okay, so in between when I'm going to each nail, when I'm doing myself, I just cure for like the first 15 seconds and then I pull it back out to keep working. Even with your clients, like, it doesn't have to cure all the way until the end. when I'm complete with all my nail art, then that's when I cure for 60 seconds. But in between, like, each finger, I cure for like 10 to 15 seconds, just so that light can harden the gel. But you, of course, want to go back in and at the end to complete the cure. So yeah. And the amazing thing about these gels is that you don't ever have to go back in and apply more gel to, you know, complete the color and make it look more bold. You know what I mean? So for this one, we are doing drips, and I don't know why drips for me are so hard. Well, it's not hard. I'm definitely gotten better with my drips, but I definitely feel like I could have done a little bit better. And I also wish that I would have did green with these drips instead of the black. So for my drips, I start out with a big dot, and then I draw a line up. And then you just connect those drips with the one next to it. And for me, I always take like a step back and like just to look at the nails to make sure it looks good from a distance. I don't know why I have to do this with like makeup and nails or anything in general, just to make sure like I'm fact checking my work, just to make sure that it look good. All right, so my other nail needed something. My little thumb needed something, and I'm not sure what the picture had on their thumbs, but I decided to make a big spider web. I don't know why my spider web looks so childish. It don't look spooky or nothing. It just look very basic. So yeah. And all you're doing is legit like connecting the lines with a swirl. Not a swirl, but incomplete line. I don't know how to say that. Like a curve. There we go. Praise God. There we go. And then another thing that I did was either I added some glitter into this. I tried to do foil, but it didn't work. So I was just trying a whole bunch of stuff. I ended up adding some chrome to the spider web just because I wanted some green in there, just like the picture, but it didn't work out. I don't know how they did that, how they pulled that off, but yeah. And it also could be because my nails are really short, so my design wasn't as big for me to put the foil in there, and yeah, it was just a lot. It was a lot of factors. Okay, so now we're going back in with my index finger, and we're gonna try to make a little spider. So I started off with just making like a bunch of lines, but that wasn't working, so I kind of had to like extend these lines just a tad bit to make it look a little better. So literally what I did was make four little long lines and then some lines in between that. But my spider looks really childish, so yeah. So now we're going in with some 𝕬𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 bling adhesive, and we're just applying this to, I was going to do a full nail, but I honestly did not feel like doing a full nail of rhinestones, especially on my pinky. I just didn't think it would look right. So I'm taking some Swarovski crystals. I don't know why I be saying it like that. Some Swarovski crystals. And then some little not beads, some stones. These are supposed to be in my nail supply store soon, y'all. So keep following me, keep subscribing, because I will drop it soon. I just don't know when, but it's coming soon. I legit have everything I need that will be going on my site. So just stay tuned, y'all, stay tuned. And I ended up wanting to add one black bead because it just was missing. I needed at least one little black bead. But then it was still looking funny to me, so I ended up going back in and adding some AB ones. Well, these wouldn't be AB ones. These would be like white AB or something. I don't know. And this is the resin activator. But before I sprayed that, I wanted to go back in and add 2 more stones to complete everything. I should have added like one of those 3mm ones, little crystals. But I really didn't feel like looking in my little box for that. Okay, so now this is when I spray my activator spray. And honey, we are done. This look was actually really fun to do. I'm super excited to take my channel into another place, another zone of artwork, and really showcasing what I can do, and just doing more artwork instead of like basic acrylic and glitter and rhinestones. Like, I want to do more artwork, so stay tuned for that. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and guys, I truly hope that you enjoyed this video. Happy Halloween. Again, I don't celebrate Halloween, but I'm sure somebody does that's watching this video. I love you guys dearly. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media. Until next time, guys, bye. Be safe.